Imagine a country nestled in the heart of Europe, surrounded by nations often embroiled in conflict, yet it remains a beacon of peace for centuries. Switzerland, with its picturesque landscapes and tranquil lakes, has a history that defies the norm. Notably, this serene nation has not participated in a foreign war since 1815. Amidst the backdrop of Europe's frequent upheavals, Switzerland's unwavering commitment to peace stands out starkly. How has this small, landlocked country maintained its peace when surrounded by turmoil? Let's uncover the secrets behind Switzerland's enduring peace. To understand Switzerland's peace, we must travel back to the early days of its formation. In the year 1291, the landscape of Europe was a tumultuous chessboard of power, with empires and emerging states vying for dominance. Amidst this, a unique alliance was born in the heart of Europe, known today as the Swiss Confederation. This alliance was not one of conquest but rather a pact of mutual defense among three valleys: Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden. These valleys, surrounded by the majestic Alps, found themselves under the increasing pressure of the Habsburgs, a powerful and ambitious dynasty whose territorial ambitions threatened the very autonomy of these regions. In response, the leaders of these valleys came together, forging a bond that would prioritize collective security over territorial expansion. This early decision to focus on defense rather than aggression was pivotal. Through a series of skilled negotiations and strategic military engagements, the Swiss Confederation established its independence, ensuring that its sovereignty was recognized. From its inception, Switzerland was built on a foundation of mutual defense, not aggression. The Napoleonic Wars were a turning point for European politics and for Switzerland's future. As the continent trembled under Napoleon's campaigns, Switzerland found itself in a precarious position. Initially, the country was an unwilling stage for French ambitions, culminating in its occupation in 1798. This occupation marked a drastic shift in Swiss governance and territorial configuration. Under Napoleon's rule, the Act of Mediation was introduced in 1803. This significant document attempted to stabilize Switzerland by reorganizing its cantons and strengthening central authority, albeit under the watchful eye of the French emperor. The Act of Mediation abolished the previous unitary Helvetic Republic, which had been imposed by the French, and restored a degree of autonomy to the Swiss cantons. This new system aimed to balance the diverse interests of the cantons while maintaining a form of collective governance. As the Napoleonic Wars drew to a close, the political landscape of Europe was redefined at the Congress of Vienna in 1815. Here, the great powers of Europe came together to redraw the continent's political map. For Switzerland, the Congress brought a pivotal affirmation. Its perpetual neutrality was officially recognized and guaranteed by the European powers. This was a crucial moment, acknowledging Switzerland's right to remain neutral in international conflicts, a stance that would shape its future profoundly. With the seal of international approval, Switzerland's path of neutrality was firmly established. As the clouds of World War I and II gathered over Europe, Switzerland's commitment to neutrality was put to the test. Switzerland, a small landlocked country surrounded by belligerents, found itself in a precarious position during these global conflicts. The Swiss government, well aware of the strategic importance and vulnerability of their nation, adopted a multifaceted approach to uphold its neutrality. This involved both military and political strategies that were crucial in maintaining the country's sovereignty. During World War I, Switzerland mobilized its army under General Ulrich Wilh, fortifying its borders to deter any potential invasion. The Swiss strategy was not merely defensive, but also diplomatic. Switzerland became a haven for political refugees, and a hub for espionage and diplomatic liaisons between the warring states. This dual role underscored Switzerland's complex position on the European chessboard. The interwar years saw Switzerland enhancing its defensive capabilities. The realization of potential threats led to the development of the National Redoubt in the late 1930s, a massive fortification project in the Alps. This fortress was designed to provide a secure retreat for the Swiss government and military, ensuring the country's prolonged resistance against any possible invasion during World War II. In addition to its military strategies, Switzerland played a significant role in diplomatic circles. The country's neutral status made it an ideal location for international negotiations and peace talks. Geneva, in particular, hosted numerous significant diplomatic meetings, helping to mediate conflicts and facilitate dialogue between nations. Furthermore, Switzerland's commitment to humanitarian principles was evident as it became a center for relief efforts and the protection of civilians affected by the wars. The Swiss Red Cross played a pivotal role, offering aid and support to prisoners of war and civilians alike, which further reinforced Switzerland's image as a bastion of humanitarianism. Through strategic planning and diplomatic finesse, Switzerland not only survived the world wars intact but also enhanced its reputation as a peace-loving nation. In today's globalized world, Switzerland's historical neutrality still plays a crucial role. As the world becomes ever more interconnected, the values of a small, landlocked country in the heart of Europe have surprising resonance on the international stage. Switzerland's stance of neutrality has not only shaped its own policies but has also made it a preferred venue for critical diplomatic engagements. The city of Geneva, for instance, is synonymous with international diplomacy. It has provided a neutral ground for discussions that have shaped the modern world. The Geneva Conventions, which set the standards in international law for humanitarian treatment in war, are perhaps the most famous examples of how Swiss neutrality has facilitated global agreements that save lives and maintain peace. Furthermore, Switzerland's reputation as a neutral ground extends beyond formal treaties. It has hosted numerous peace negotiations tackling conflicts from around the world. These range from negotiations between foreign nations to discussions on humanitarian issues and disputes. The Swiss policy of neutrality ensures that all parties involved in such discussions are on equal footing, fostering an environment conducive to genuine dialogue and resolution. In addition, Switzerland's neutrality has influenced its own foreign and domestic policies, emphasizing peace, stability, and cooperation. It avoids alliances that could entangle it in military conflicts, focusing instead on being a mediator and protector of humanitarian values. Switzerland continues to be a global hub for diplomacy and peace negotiations. Beyond politics, the Swiss culture itself is steeped in principles of peace and neutrality. In Switzerland, education plays a pivotal role in embedding the values of peace and neutrality from a young age. School curriculums are meticulously designed to foster understanding, respect, and dialogue among diverse cultures and opinions. This foundational education shapes individuals who inherently appreciate the importance of peaceful coexistence. In the realm of business, Swiss companies are renowned for their emphasis on ethical practices and conflict resolution. This approach not only enhances their international reputation but also solidifies a corporate culture that aligns with the nation's overarching ethos of neutrality. Everyday life in Switzerland further reflects these principles. The Swiss are known for their diplomacy and discretion, traits that are deeply woven into the social fabric. Public discussions and debates are marked by a high level of respect and consideration for differing viewpoints, mirroring the national policy of staying neutral and avoiding conflicts. It's not just a policy, it's a way of life that permeates every aspect of Swiss society. From its strategic beginnings to its modern-day role on the global stage, Switzerland's story is a testament to the power of peace. Tracing back through centuries, Switzerland has woven a complex tapestry of neutrality, a stance that has not only defined its own history, but has also cast a long shadow over its interactions with the rest of the world. The early alliances set the foundation, fortified during the tumultuous times of the Napoleonic Wars, and held steadfast through the fiery trials of the Great Wars. Even as Europe burned and rebuilt, Switzerland maintained its commitment to peace. This enduring neutrality has shaped Switzerland into more than just a country. It has become a global hub for diplomacy, a meeting ground for nations, and a beacon for peace. Home to numerous international organizations, including the United Nations office at Geneva, Switzerland's soil is fertile ground for dialogue and resolution. But what can other nations learn from Switzerland? Perhaps the most profound lesson lies in the understanding that peace is not merely the absence of war. It is a proactive, continuous commitment to harmony and mutual respect, a commitment that requires both courage and compromise. As we reflect on Switzerland's peaceful legacy, we see not just a strategy for survival, but a blueprint for a thriving society. It reminds us that peace is a choice, one that must be made anew each day in the actions of governments and the lives of individuals. Switzerland stands as a serene heart in a bustling Europe, proving that peace is not just possible, but profoundly powerful.